Hope here at Crafty Hope, and welcome. I am working on another one of the Jessie James Bead Summer Bead Blast challenge weeks. It is week 6 with the, what is the prompt? The prompt is just a notion, which means use buttons, fabric, tassels, or other notions in your bead project. So if you know me, you know I like buttons, and so immediately I was like, buttons, yes, I will use buttons. But I have been pondering how to both use buttons and really highlight the Jessie James beads. As you know, possibly, I'm a Jessie James Beads design ambassador, and they, sorry about that, y'all. I'm trying to give y'all some light to see the beautiful beads I've pulled out. They always send me lots of beautiful beads, and so I wanted to make sure I highlighted them as the key components and not really have the notions. I want the notions incorporated somehow, but not the highlight. So the majority of the ones I have picked out here were based off knowing that I wanted to use a button, and some of these thunder polished beads, I've got the color over here. It's Bury Me in Sunshine, I believe. Yes, so Bury Me in Sunshine is the name of these thunder polished beads. I will try to put a link to them below, but I'm going to use them as part of a clasp with a shank button. So I went through one of my mini jars of buttons and looked for a shank button. I do have mine separated by, for the most part, by shanks and hold buttons, so that made it easy. A hold button you can also use for this project, but I really wanted to highlight the beads here. So most of the beads I pulled out, once I knew I was going to use these, I wanted colors kind of neutral to go in this and make this kind of a classy design. So I think almost all of these probably came, I can't be sure, but in the Magical Mystery Bead Box that had the it was the book theme. I can't remember. I'll put a link up here to the unboxing of that, but I think a lot of these came from that mix. I'm not positive, but I did pick out this shank button. A shank button is a button with like a loop on the back, as opposed to traditional ones with like the 2 or 4 holes in them. So if you have been designing jewelry very long, you probably know what I'm about to do. But we're going to pull together a pretty easy bracelet, hopefully. And we're going to start with a crimp bead. So I am going to put on a crimp bead, so a crimp bead or a crimped tube, onto my, like this. My battery's running out. One second. Okay, so you've got your crimp bead out. You can, on the other end of your beading wire, I'm using some 19 strand beading wire, just so you know. And I'm going to put this little stopper here just to keep my beads from falling off in case, because I am clumsy. So I'm going to start picking up these thunder polish beads, and we're going to basically make a loop. So I'm going to start, if I can get it, start by putting about, let's say, we're going to start with 10. That's a nice even number. I like that. I believe that's 10 on there. I'm going to kind of make a loop, and I can tell already that is not going to be enough. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more. Sorry I'm having to speed this up, but y'all, these beautiful tiny beads are really hard to find. Those bead holes. They're there because they come on a strand, so I know they're there. I just can't find them. I think I've got about 15 on here now, so I'm going to bend this again and take a look at it. I'm trying to keep it as looped together as I can, because what we are going to want is our button to be able to pass through that loop. I still think that's a little small, so I'm going to add at least 3 more of these. Those 3 more, and of course I've got stuff everywhere. Let's get it back up to the top here. We're gonna bend it again. Look at our loop, and that should be plenty to get that through there. Hopefully it is. So we're gonna take the end of our wire and pass it back through that crimp bead like so and pull that tight. Make sure each end is tight. Try to keep it from crossing like so. I'm gonna double check that. No, I'm not happy with that yet. Pull each end. And of course I'm messing up my bead configuration down here, but it's pretty basic. Alright, that is going to work fine. So I will grab my crimping pliers. These are these funky little ones. And because I am working with a crimp bead and not a tube, I'm going to bend, turn it, and crimp. Alright, just like that. And we can take off that excess. Excuse that. These pliers here, I mean, these wire cutters are probably overkill. That's just what I had out over there. I've got the better ones over here. Alright, so we're going to turn our, take that off. And now this basically acts as a stopper. And we're going to start putting our beads on. So I'm going to start with one of these glass coin beads and then one of my little thunder polish and then a gold puff bead. And I'm going to check that because these gold puff beads are fabulous, but they have large holes. I want to make sure it doesn't swallow that thunder polish crystal. I need to get some of this filament. There we go. It's getting all tangly. Alright, so another one of our thunder polish beads. And then another one of these. I'm just having trouble. I am having trouble. That is my fingers today. Apparently my fine motor skills are a bit off. Alright, so then another thunder polish. One of these lovely black beads. Thunder polish. I feel like I should have on magnifying glasses. I promise you, I've got my reading glasses on, but these are so beautifully tiny and like all the best ways. There. Alright, and I'm going to keep repeating that pattern, and hopefully I have enough of these beads to complete a bracelet. If it is not long enough, will go back in and add more of those thunder polish ones in between. That is the plan anyway. Okay, I'm glad I took that off camera because I did have to use both my magnifying glass and add 2 beads between these. Yeah, my measuring in my brain was not right. I also did add one of those crystals here at this end, and I've put 4 here at this end. But I did the pattern of pearl, gold, pearl, black, pearl, gold, pearl, black, pearl, gold, pearl, you know, with the 2 between. And I've added 4 at the end of those crystals. And now I'm going to add my other crimp bead. And then I'm going to slide on my button. Now, once my button is on, I am going to go back through that crimp bead, just like we did on the other side. Just like so. Try to keep it straight again and not crisscross in there. Once you get your button fairly close, make sure everything's nice and tight. Now don't pull this too tight. You won't get it to move. You do want it tight, but you don't want it so tight that you'll never be able to bend your bracelet. So once that's in there, go ahead and take your crimping pliers and again crimp your crimp bead or tube. And then I'm going to get my flush cutters here and see if I can do a better job than those big old ones. and trim off that excess. Alright guys, then you have a pretty little bracelet with a button closure. Let me take off that, and you're just going to wrap this around. This actually may be one I can put on camera because it's got like this toggle clasp. Just like that. And it's a perfect little bracelet with a little bit of sparkle and so much class. I hope y'all like this. I hope that you explore working with buttons in your jewelry designs. Maybe everybody's got a tin of Grandma's All Buttons somewhere. Take a look at those and see what you've got and mix them up with some of your Jessie James beads. I'm sure it will be a winner, whatever it is you make. Let me know if you have any questions. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and make sure if you play along to use that hashtag JJB Summer Bead Blast and check out what everybody else is making there too. All right, guys, I will see y'all later. Bye.